I'm always Safety Source,
Sup, I'm Joe.
What's going on, Santi? Mark.
and we're the Source Pod. Guys, welcome back to episode 2. We made it. In case you missed episode 1, go check that out right now. Just before watching this, we talked about predictions for the upcoming season. So if you want to hear those, you should listen to that first. And how we think everything will turn out for the upcoming season.
Yep, this weekend we actually just played Nashville. We didn't get the win, but there was a lot of positives from the game that we want to talk about. Like for some other times, that was fucking awful. Shit.
So instead of talking about that, we're just gonna go right into the news I've heard throughout the week since the last recording, and we're gonna have
Alright,
a slight preview for Chicago.
All right, so I'll just talk about that we played Nashville, but we're just gonna talk about the upcoming game in Chicago.
Mm-hmm. Since the last time recording, I've been informed that the number 9 spot has been moved up to the top of the priority list alongside a left center back. People have seen this, and I guess they're happy because everyone knows we need a 9. But people have also thought that we were already going to get one, which was not true at all. We were not going to get a 9 originally. The last week or so, the club has rethought the decision about the priority of getting a 9, and it has gone up a lot after seeing the game at Nashville. It wasn't fully about that, but that was a big reason. The next thing, there will be at least 5 signings in the coming weeks. I've been constantly saying this, but now this has been confirmed by David Lee and all the other staff, and this is more of a confirmed thing now, not just me saying it. The window closes April 24th, so there's nothing to worry about. A lot of signings are coming today at the gala, actually, which was a private event for people within the club and reporters and stuff like that. There was a quote that was said. What was said was actually that in the next coming few days there will be something really interesting, which I'm assuming is Santi. But there might be another signing or two, and then he also said there's something really interesting in the coming weeks. So that's going to be at least the 5 signings I was just talking about.
All right, so now let's get to the Chicago preview.
Let me just start off with a very early injury report. This is very premature from no info. We have nothing, just what we saw from the game. Tavon Gray got hurt. He got taken off, and it didn't really look good. And then when I asked about it, I asked someone within the club, and they said that he's going to be out for a few weeks, and it's not looking good for him, which means Mitja Lenic is likely to start. And Mitja Lenic brings a lot of attacking positivity. We signed him because he's attacking and because he's an attacking fullback. So signing him is big for us and our tempo and gameplay. So he will definitely start for Chicago if Tavon is still out. Santiago Rodriguez will likely be available because the club has said that they want to get him available ASAP. He has also been playing in Uruguay. It's not that he hasn't even been training. He's fit, and he's already started the season in Uruguay as well. He's not official at the time of recording, but the time of recording is February Tuesday, 28th. So we all think that he should be announced tomorrow. Hopefully he's available for the game. That would completely change everything. We might see Hawk start again. I'm unsure if Morales is available, but I think Morales is available. I'm unsure if they see Hawk starting again, even with Morales back, but that's something to look out for. Another thing to look out for is Magno. Will he start at the 9 or at the wing? We obviously saw that it didn't really work out at the 9, and Thiago was better, but he was still not amazing. So that's something else to look out for. And the midfield combo, as I just talked about, will be Parks and Hawk, Hawk and Morales, or Parks and Morales, assuming Morales is still available.
Yeah, I mean, I'm really hoping because as we saw with last game, Magno didn't do too well starting off at that number 9. But as we saw Thiago come in, try to fill into that spot, he did a little bit better. It wasn't dramatically made but it made a little bit of a difference, bringing the ball up and using his pace. So with the lineup right now, I want to see Thiago play the number 9. I just want to test out the first half, and then maybe during I don't know, the 60th, or maybe even at the beginning of the second half, we can make this up or just swap them. And like you said, hopefully if Morales is available, I would like to see both Keen Parks and Morales at the back, because I think Morales he supplies that leadership. And you said last episode about his surprising number of assists that goes unnoticed. I feel like that could bring some depth into the squad, especially bringing that ball up, because the last game against Nashville, we had a lot of possession, but we didn't have too many chances on goal. So I feel like having Morales at the back, not only defensively, is really good, but also offensively, he could bring the ball up.
I'm going to stop you guys right here before we discuss anything else. I know I talked about it in the chat 10 minutes before recording, but I guess we can have this as an exclusive on the pod, first ever exclusive just for the pod. I'm gonna bring up Xavier Arriaga, center back of Seattle Sounders. I have been told that Seattle is still open to trading him. We had interest a couple months back to bring him in. Nothing happened. There's multiple teams within the league that are interested. Miami is interested. There's a couple teams interested. I just reached out to someone in Seattle, and they have told me that NYCFC might still have interest in trading for Xavier Arriaga. So look out for that in the coming weeks. He's a right-footed center back, not a left-footed center back, which is still something we're looking for. But NYCFC might be making a play for Seattle Sounders center back who has fallen out of favor.
That's big news. So right now, as of now, Chicago has signed two number nines. League veteran Kai Kamara, who's played for a few MLS clubs, one of them being Montreal. He's just signed, and as of today, actually, they've signed a Greek number nine, called Sias. Signing, he was actually on loan at a club in Greece before joining Chicago. So that he's probably not gonna play, maybe, but Kai Kamara is definitely a threat that we should be looking out for. Um, he's dangerous. He's really old, but he's still a very dangerous player. He had a pretty good year last year, and yeah, they're not joking around this year. With their forwards, considering how a lot of the times their forwards, their number nines have really flopped. So having someone like Kamara is definitely someone that we should keep an eye on to see how we defend against him.
Yeah, so I'm going to talk about last year and their roster build. Last year, the roster build was crazy. They spent crazy amount on Shiboko, which we all know didn't really work out. Shaqiri, which is crazy. He went from Europe to like Chicago. That's like heard of. That's good for the league. And they got a bunch of other pieces which were good. They brought Mueller back into the league, but we all know that they didn't have a very successful year. And I think that they're having the problem that we had versus Nashville. They just didn't gel, and they had a bunch of good pieces all over the place. But now they're going to have Kai Kamara. They're going to have Georgios Koutsias, 19-year-old Greek U9 international, who they signed for 2.5 mil this morning. They're like starting to fully put together a team that was like, you could say half built last year. They were built, but I mean, now they're fully putting pieces together, but now they've also lost Slanina. Their starting keeper is Chris Brady, 18-year-old, with almost little to no experience in MLS. If we can get shots off, I can almost guarantee you goals. We don't know if this kid is good. We all say he has good potential, but nobody knows that. Like, we have players who score goals. If they can just shoot, well, then we'll see if Chris Brady is good or not. They have some other pieces they got this offseason. Right back Suke from Montpellier. He's a very good veteran, I could say. Right back, he'll be good. Also Gaston Jimenez. I'm unsure if he's injured or not, but at the time of recording, Transfer Market has him as injured. I don't have no info about that. There are a few pieces. Like, they finally have striker. Like, I don't think they're going to start Shiboko. They're going to start either Kakamera or Becerra up top. Shiboko is just not working for them. He might be traded within the league too. They got him for a crazy amount of money on GAM and I think TAM. I don't remember exactly the trade details, but it was a lot. The roster building is finally being put together, and I think they really are, like you said, no joke. Nothing. They're something to take seriously.
Speaking of Gaston Jimenez, he has a thigh injury right now, and he's expected to return around like mid March, so mid next month.
That would make him out for the game, correct?
Yes, that would.
So for us, we have really just Tavon Gray out, who's going to be replaced by Mitya Lenic anyways. And they have Koutsias now, but who knows if he's available or not. Kai Kamara, who knows if he'll start or not. Their striker situation, they have good options, but it's their first game since they had a bye last week, and nobody really knows how they're going to line up. Let's take a look at their site to see if we can get any more info on any injuries. I mean, I'm not really seeing anything because they haven't had a game yet, so no injury reports. But Gaston Jimenez, which is a big blow to them, but they still have Navarro. Navarro, I think I'm saying that right. I have no clue. But he's also a really good CDM and young.
Another injury.
Which one?
Another injury. Fabian Herbers.
Fabian Herbers.
A hip injury. He's expected to be out until late March, early April.
He's another league veteran, but either way, I think Mueller would start anyways.
Yeah, I know.
But I mean, we'll see because their defense is also not the best. They really don't have any amazing center backs. Like, if you look at them,
they lost the main goalkeeper. So like,
Yeah.
so like, if we like start with our usual attack, then I feel like we can get like a lot of shots on them and a lot of goals.
But
Since on this
who would you start at the 9 though? Who would you start at 9?
9, I feel like probably Andrade and then Magno on the wing. And if that doesn't work out, then we can just switch them around.
I think if that
But I
doesn't
also want,
work,
but
sorry, if it doesn't work, I really think we should just throw Dennis Seagal in there, like just see what
yeah,
works. Like he's here
but
already.
honestly,
Right.
like since it's Chicago, they don't have like the main goalkeeper. We can say like Gabe Seagal can like get like a couple of shots on them and see if he can like score a goal or two. If Andrade doesn't work out on at striker,
Because for CDM they have Navarro, and then I'm assuming with Jimenez out they're gonna play Pineda there, who's usually a center back, but he can play CDM. So let's say that's their CDM partnership, Pineda and Navarro, which is decent. I'm not gonna say anything about that. But then if we go to defense, they have Suke, they're the new addition. They have Chichos, who was really good last year for them, but like he was a standout in defense because their defense was just atrocious. Now they have Carlos Turan, who's also good, but I mean, is nothing crazy. We'll see how he's improved in the offseason, but I mean, their defense is still not good. And their goalkeeper situation has gone down. They have no left back. Like, their left back is the Navarro, the other Navarro. He's not that good. Like, we really have to capitalize on our defense. Like, GP has to, like, click very early on into the season. We can't have him, like, starting to click towards the end because we don't have the benefit of Tati and stuff right now. Like, we need him to click. We need Magno to click, and we need Thiago to click. And we have to pray if Santi is not available, then Pellegrini actually plays like a cam. Because how he was playing in my eyes was a winger. He was playing like a winger in the cam position, and that was very frustrating for me to watch.
I mean, same thing. I mean, okay. So as we can tell, like Micha, he's likely to start, and obviously with Chicago having no defense, I feel like Micha can get like advantage out of them. Basically, like cut inside, make the runs, basically do all that stuff because we don't know that he's like really good at attacking runs.
And
Whereas when
he's gonna be matched up against a left back who's very like inexperienced and not very, quality, like you could say.
yeah, we saw quality for a little bit when he came on. He looked pretty good when he came on for the last few minutes against Nashville.
There was a clip that stood out. Was it Santi? Did you mention this before recording today? The tackle.
The tackle.
Yeah,
It was like in the 89th minute around there.
And if you're watching on YouTube, we'll have the clip up on the screen. But it was a tackle on Hani Mukhtar. I think he was dribbling, and there was like a whole group of NYCFC players like running around him, and Mitia just stepped in and tackled him, and that was like I guess the highlight of his few minutes, which is still amazing. He tackled the ball off the MVP, and he stopped the counter. So I guess props to him for that.
I feel like also for this game, if Morales is fair, I don't want to see Kenneth Park starting. Just know that I'm not. If Parks is starting, then I don't know because I want Justin Hack to like start this game.
100%. Because after the Nashville game, I'm just gonna go out there and say he was our best player. He was easily our best player.
Consistently throughout the whole game was the best one. With Barraza also as well. Hack and Barraza were like our two key players in that game.
Yeah, Braza. I have the minutes up. Minute 5, Braza has a goal kick that opened up the game. It was a goal kick that went all the way over everybody, and I think Magno got it down. Thiago was to his left, and there was like one or two defenders behind them. That completely opened up the game. I remember that, but like we really didn't do anything with that attack. But that's not on Braza. And then 30 seconds later, Braza makes a 1v1 save. 2 minutes later, Braza makes a diving catch. 2 minutes later, again, he makes a diving catch. In the 30th minute, he made another big save, which was the deflection save, I believe. Like the first half, he just had a lot of nonstop like action. And I think there's really nothing people can yell at him for. I know there were people saying that the goals were his fault. What is he going to do? He saved a shot from point blank range against Zimmerman, who we know is like massive and very strong in headers. He saved it. The rebound goes in. Like it's not his fault that there's the guy at the back post who's unmarked. The second goal, not his fault, bro. We just let Hani Mukhtar walk into like our entire box, like we're not doing anything, and then Schaffelberg is left wide open at the back post with no one covering him. Nothing he can do. He did everything he could, and he played good. That's all I'm gonna say.
I mean, besides that, I feel like for this game, for this like upcoming game, maybe O2 should start. This is just what I'm saying. Maybe O2 should start, and then we could sub on Cooper like later in the minutes, because because we could tell like in the first half, Cooper he really wasn't doing anything, but then the second half he started like shining more and doing more than he did in the first half. But I just feel like the thing I don't want to happen is when we're struggling, when we're like struggling in like the first half, I don't want us to just like I don't want us to like come back in the second half. Yes, yes, that can happen, but like what I'm trying to say here is that if there's a chance we're like fumbling, we're in trouble, we should like be able to like be consistent like throughout the whole game, because the first half against Nashville, I feel like we were pretty bad, to be honest. Like we were barely attacking, but like after that goal from Nashville, all of a sudden we just started to click, and obviously we conceded later on, but like still.
Yeah, this is something we constantly see. We like turn up after the other team scores. Like, why is that so? Like, just show up from the start. And then something else I want to say, like in the second half, yeah, we just like played from the start to the end, and it was pretty much good. Nothing bad besides the goal, which is, I mean, kind of inevitable when the MLS MVP comes on against you, and you have unfinished defense, not fully built, in better words. But there's really like nothing that we could have done much better with like who we had out. Yeah, we could have done better, but like it was game one versus Nashville, and they have arguably the best thing about them is their defense. I'm not gonna say much. I liked what I saw. There was a few good plays. I mean, it wasn't awful in the second half. It was much better than the first half, is what I have to say. But I mean, for Chicago, they're a much weaker team. If we can't win, then that's just disappointing. I know it's game two and like it's still early to judge, but like this is like it's not a must win 3 points, but for the fans it is. Because if we don't win, the fans are just gonna go crazy. They're gonna be like, "Where's our signings? Our offseason was bad. Get Cushing out of here." Like I've already seen people saying Cushing out and stuff. Like it's a one game versus Nashville with like we have a left winger, a Cam, and the left winger hasn't started a game in years. Like I don't get like our fan base. Like they have to stay a bit more patient than they are right now.
Um, I agree. Um, I feel like I feel like our fans are gonna expect a result here just because they want to accept a result in when we play Miami in our home opener. I feel like that's where we need to get the result, because if we don't get a result in Miami, I feel like then that's where like everyone goes up against the team, up against the front office and Cushing as well. So you know
Yeah,
that's what
100%. Because I know, Miami, they're not even that bad of a team right now. They won their opening game versus Montreal. I mean, people are also saying Montreal's not going to do good, but it's not like they don't have a good team, just like us. Yeah, they're still building, but like we're being much more aggressive in the market, I would like to say. Before like I hand it off to you guys to finish off, I wanted to ask about who the midfield pairing would be in your eyes. And Morales is available, by the way. If like I'm saying Morales is available for this question.
I think
Morales,
yeah.
because prior he didn't do it in the Nashville game, so like it's like Pack he showed up, so he deserves to start over Parks and Morales too. And
Before I let you guys like say your lineups, I actually asked Hawk if he prefers center mid or CDM, and he really said he doesn't matter. But then I said like, what would he prefer more? Like, not what he likes more, but what he prefers more, like what he thinks he's better at. And he said, I guess CDM, which I mean, that makes it really hard for us to form a lineup because we need Morales at CDM. And we need Hawk at CDM too if we want Hawk playing. And that's kind of like a big issue here for like in my head, it's been like spinning around and around this exact issue. How like our lineup is going to look if we don't want Parks starting each game. Yeah, the fan base likes him, but if he's not playing good, I don't want him there. Like there's going to have to be a point where fans realize that Parks just doesn't deserve to start and we should try to get someone else. I think one of the at least five signings will be a midfielder. I'm told two of them will be a left center back and a striker, but I think I'm going to put it out there and just say that one is also going to be a center mid. But I think that's more of like a
good to
fingers
know.
crossed projection in my eyes.
For me, I feel like if Santi is available, then I feel like he should start, or we can either start Pellegrini. If he doesn't do it, then we just sub Santi on in the second half.
something else. Magno at Cam worked because we constantly saw Magno coming to the center, and I'm like, is he playing Cam or wing? So that's something else we could try. And then something else I want to add is like our schedule after Miami, or even starting with Chicago, it's not hard at all. Like Chicago, then Miami, then DC, then Houston, then New England, then Atlanta, and then we're back in Nashville at home actually. And then FC It's like it's really not that hard. Like I'd say up until April 15th. So we have Chicago, which I'll say we get 3 points. Miami 3 points, DC 3 points, Houston 3 points, New England. Let's just say 1 point because it's New England. That would be 3, 6, 9, 12, 14 out of 15. Out of 13 out of 15 points. Like this next month, realistically, we should be getting at least 10 points.
And most of them are home games, so like we should be able to like play well in front of our home fans.
Yeah. Something like my midfield lineup, I would put. I don't know. I'm gonna have to put a Hawk in at center mid and Morales at CDM, but I just know the Hawk is not gonna start. I just know Cushing is gonna play Parks with Morales if Morales is fully fit, which is really upsetting because like Hawk was so good, and like we can't keep having him play really good and then benching him because like what I would have to do is just let him go, like get someone to like find someone who has an offer or wants him and let him go because he's really good. And I'm not going to let him sit behind Morales because we see Morales as a better leader or a better player. What do you guys think?
I think that I think Hawk really I really want Hawk to play against Chicago. He's gonna go up against players like Shaqiri, for example, and he's gonna want to prove himself. Hopefully, Cushing makes the best decision, and if Hawk plays good against Chicago and continues, he has to start. Like there's no way he's not gonna start. Like if he continues on the way he played, he really bullied Nashville. Right here, 90% of his accurate passes. He had 50% long balls. He won most of his tackles as well. I remember seeing. So I expect him to start. Hopefully he does. But if Cushing makes the
when you mentioned Shaqiri, the first thing that came to mind was Sands. His first few MLS games were against Zlatan and Wayne Rooney and a couple other big names, and that just makes me think Hawk for Shaqiri. Like Shaqiri, Hawk, Sands, Zlatan, and Wayne Rooney. Like if he can do something now, I see him having a better career than Sands. Hawk is much more talented than Sands, I feel like, because he's more of a center mid. He can play center mid. Sands was never able to play center mid.
Yeah, he was more of like center back really. Mm-hmm.
I know this is like a really bad take for some people because some people don't even like Hawk so far, but his career could go so much better than Sands. He has so much more ability than Sands ever had. I know I'm gonna get I know that's like a crazy thing to say, but it's what I think. I just have to put it out there.
Always been underrated in my opinion. Every time I see him play, especially when he would come on for little few minutes early in his career here, I always found him underrated in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to get stuck on the midfield topic so far, so let's just give our final predictions and lineup predictions, and let's get out of here. So goalie Barraza, he's locked in for now. 2 games at least. Barraza, I'm sorry. After that performance, I know we said over under 7 saves, but Nashville only had 4 shots, so I mean that's not even his fault. I think 4 shots. I think it was 4, right? Or was that us with 4 and them with 2? No. They had 4, I think. So 2 out of 4 saves, 2 out of 4 saves. That's pretty good because the other 2 were goals. So he didn't not save anything that he couldn't. Barraza, the left back. I mean, Kufre got the job early on when he shouldn't have, because I think he would have made more of a better performance if he came on as a sub because of how influential he could have been. But I think I'm going to have to give him the start because once you get the start, you're not benching Kufre.
No.
Yeah. So I think I'm going to have to. Yeah, I think I'm going to have to put Kufre there and then Chanel Martins, Mitya Lenic. That's our back line. What do you guys say?
100%. Strong back line. It's the most predictable one that might happen. So yeah, I have to go with that.
All right, midfield. I'm gonna have to say Parks and Hawk. I have to say Hawk. I know Morales may be available, but I'm putting Hawk back. Hawk is just too good to bench. I'm sorry.
I feel like he like surprised everyone. Because like I know like myself, I was surprised when Hawk was starting, and then like after the Nashville game, like really like shine and like yeah, basically like surprised like everyone.
Yeah, bro. Like our
Which is
chat
nice.
was
That's
blowing
all.
up. You guys were saying how you're surprised. I'm like, what are you guys talking about? Because I've
I
always liked
know.
Talk. I've always said that I like Talk, and you guys are like, what is happening right now? He's playing so good. I'm like, guys, I always say how I like him so much, and he's good. You guys are like, what? And like I was so confused. You guys were like saying that you were so surprised and stuff. I'm like, what are you guys talking about? So I mean, hopefully he does good again. And as you said, Shaqiri, big task. If he does good, it's his job to lose. I mean, but yeah, I think attacking the midfield three, we're gonna see Magno, Pellegrini, or Santi. I'm not gonna lock in either of them yet because Santi, I really don't know when he's gonna be announced. I got told it was gonna be today, tomorrow. I was hoping today, and it wasn't because of the gala. But tomorrow, if it's announced, and then if he's announced tomorrow, he's good to go for Saturday. Um, so Santi Pellegrini, and then right wing GP, have to put him in there. You know, hopefully he
Yeah.
does something versus Navarro, who's like literally nobody knows who he is. And up top we have Thiago.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sounds
Yeah.
good.
Should we do any like
Good lineup.
any over unders or nah? Should we do?
If you want.
Over
Let me think
under.
of a few right now. Mitya
Hold up.
Lenic, over under 2 crosses into the box.
Over.
Definitely.
I think over.
I'm
Yeah.
saying over. Depending on how we use him, if we use him as like an overlapping run, like with GP, he's getting at least 3. I'm gonna be honest, at least 3 or 4, because that's just his
I
style of
think
play. He plays
yeah.
the right winger, right mid, right wing back. He's just really good attacking. That's why we got him, and that's something to look out for from him. So we're all saying over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, over two tackles from Mitya. I'll write that down really quick.
I got one.
We're all saying over, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got one. Over. Hawk to make 4 tackles.
Huh?
Hack to
Hawk
make
to make
4 tackles.
Um, definitely over.
Over 4.
Over
Oh
four.
no.
It
Four.
depends.
Yeah.
Four's a lot.
I couldn't hear what you guys said.
It
before,
depends. Cause he's great. Cause this game, cause he has like a really hard opponent. Like
What did you say?
you-
Tackles
yeah.
Tackles. Yeah.
from
I think
Martinez or
four.
Timo?
No,
No,
from Hack.
Over
midfield.
4 tackles. I don't see Hack as a tackling guy. I see more of like a duels guy, like winning duels.
Or
Because I think he
or
only had like
Hack
1 or
to
2
win.
tackles versus Nashville. I'm saying
He
under
has
4 tackles.
I'm also saying under.
Under.
yeah. Yes, under.
Under 4 tackles for Hawk. Should we end it up here?
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
It's your city boys. We out.